The battles in the OAA Red continue. The Lake Orion Dragons take on the West Bloomfield Lakers. We've got it all for you here on Orion Neighborhood Television. Pregame is underwritten by Malash's Palace, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Malash's Palace has been servicing Lake Orion's automotive needs since the 1960s. Give them a call at 248-393-2222. Good evening, everyone. I'm Doug Corliss along with Chris Frisching. It's week 3. West Bloomfield provides the opposition. Last week against Adams, we saw that the Lake Orion squad, for lack of a better term, Chris, it's growing pains. Getting used to new offensive and defensive coordinators, going from a jet sweep to more of a power run game, it's going to take some time.
It's going to take some time, but keep in mind, the last 2 weeks Lake Orion has played programs that are traditionally very good, Chippewa Valley and Rochester Adams. And so, yes, they are trying to establish a running game with Dylan Frank. He leads the way with 36 carries, 130 yards on the ground. But you know what? It's more than that. It's scoring points, putting points on the board. It's eliminating the penalties. They've had 20 penalties in those first 2 games. It's eliminating the turnovers. They've had 3 turnovers in those 2 games. The first game of the season, special teams gas that resulted in short fields for Chippewa Valley that ended up in 14 points. And lastly, you know what? They've got to prevent the big plays from happening defensively. Their opposition has had 8 plays of over 20 yards or more, and those are big things that they've got to correct in order for them to come out on top tonight.
And along that line, they're going to get better. Talking to Coach Blackstock, he said, we're showing the steps we need to improve, but at the same time, everybody else in the OAA Red is getting better at the same time.
They're going to get better over the course of time, and it's just a matter of finding that niche. We talked last week about establishing some confidence. We'll talk more about tonight and what they need to do offensively to be able to start getting back into football games. And they had a taste of it during week 1 and never were really in the game, unfortunately, last week. So it's going to be an interesting game tonight.
West Bloomfield comes in. We spoke last week with Adams about their four-headed monster. This is a talent-laden squad with, if you want to, a good 3-headed monster in the backfield and at the wideout spots.
Yeah, well, there's more talent even than that. Well, they talked about this team being the most talented football team that they've had in school history. Coach Ron Bellamy, their head football coach, said he feels that they've got the best wide receiving core in the entire state of Michigan. So when it's all said and done, they're loaded with college Division I football talent, even Division II football talent. But it doesn't matter how good your individual talent is. It matters how good collectively you are and how well you can work together as a team. And it's when it's all said and done, they just haven't finished games the last 2 weeks to be able to bring them out on top. They're a very good football team, but they've got to learn to play a full 4 quarters.
The Red Division, we talked about it last week. It's usually a log jam this time of year, and a couple teams start to separate themselves, and you're seeing that tonight with Adams, who we lost to last week. Bloomfield Hills and Clarkston. Clarkston and Bloomfield Hills play each other tonight. Slowly, you're going to see the better teams. It's like the same thing happens every year at playoff time. Everybody's beating each other up, right, but you always get the couple teams that just get to the top.
Yeah, you know what? When it's all said and done, you are right on all that, but each of these teams tonight have got to worry about themselves. They can't worry about the rest of the OAA. They've got to worry about their offensive, defensive schemes, their personnel, their substitutions. All those things combined. They got to worry about ball security because the loser of tonight's game is going to have a very, very, very difficult time making the Michigan State football playoffs. So because they'll be 0-3 and you got to win 6 games to get in. So it's a big game tonight for both squads. They don't want to go 0-3. No team obviously does, but for the reason we talked about, you got to have 6 wins to get in, and they're going to need one tonight, each of them.
It is that log jam. It seems like every week we see a good football team go up against the Dragons. Tonight, the West Bloomfield Lakers. How will it turn out? That's what we'll find out at the end of tonight. West Bloomfield and Lake Orion, we've got it all for you. Stay with us. Pregame is underwritten by Malash's Palace, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Malash's Palace has been serving Lake Orion's automotive needs since the 1960s. Give them a call at 248-393-2222. Just under 5 minutes before the start of tonight's game between the West Bloomfield Lakers and the Lake Orion Dragons. Chris, you got your keys to the game for tonight.
I do, yeah. Number one, I mean, it goes without saying, I guess, in any football game, but eliminate mistakes. Mistakes we talked about briefly at the outset. 20 penalties in the first 2 weeks, first 2 games this year. Fumbles, 2 fumbles, and 1 interception in 2 games. It's a combination of those things that when you're not putting points on the board and you're making mistakes, it's very difficult to obviously win football games. So, we've talked last week about week 1 having the 2 blocked punts. Certainly they didn't have any last week against Rochester Adams, but eliminating mistakes, obviously. And number 2, I say this is sustaining drives, but sustaining drives and then converting into points. Sustaining drives in order to keep that West Bloomfield offense and that college talent that we talk about off the field. Lake Orion in 106 plays that they've had this year, 83 of those plays, or almost 78, 79% of those plays have been with first and 7 yards or more, and what they're doing, they're only averaging 2.6 yards a carry this year, and when it's all said and done, they're putting themselves in second and longs, third and long situations that make it very difficult to convert and sustain drives. So the ability to get better yardage on first down and so forth, sustain drives, keep West Bloomfield's offense off the field, certainly is going to be one of the keys tonight.
We saw last week against Adams, they went with the power game through the first half, and in the third quarter, they went back more to some of the jet sweep. Are they going to have to mix that up?
There is so much speed on that West Bloomfield defense, offense for them, defense in this case, in your example, that there's going to have to be some misdirection, some different looks, some different schemes to keep that defense honest, and so forth. West Bloomfield themselves had 4 interceptions last week. They ended up losing, but they had 4 interceptions. So they've got guys that are playmakers on the back end that can make plays. And if Lake Orion gets into that game where they have got to put the ball up in the air and pass the ball to get back into games, they've got some good defenders in the back end and gets decent pass rush up front. It's going to make it very difficult.
West Bloomfield is coached by Ron Bellamy. He is in his 8th year. He's 39-29 overall. As the moms and the cheerleaders start their chant, West Bloomfield was 6-5 last year. They beat Bloomfield Hills in the first round of the playoffs and lost to Southfield in round 2. West Bloomfield has made the playoffs for 3 straight years. As the Dragons take the field. In the series, Lake Orion leads the overall series 12-6. These teams first played in 1980 to 1982, and then in 1994 and 95, and then it's been a regular matchup since 2004 when West Bloomfield came into the OAA. Band plays the fight song. Team is huddled up. I look down, and if we can get word to our sideline reporter, Kevin McCormick, I think John Marshall is in street clothes, and I want to know if he can verify that. If he is, Blaze Lauer will be starting. We will pause right now as Director of Bands Michael Steele takes the podium to lead the Lake Orion Marching Band in our national anthem. Your first quarter of action tonight is brought to you by Jets Pizza. Jets Pizza with 2 convenient locations in the Orion area. Proud sponsors of ONTV since 2009. And we will also mention that this presentation is brought to you by the Lake Orion High School video program in partnership with Orion Neighborhood Television. Live streams of games will be available all season long at www.nfhsnetwork.com. 50% of all proceeds go back into the award-winning video program here at Lake Orion High School. Orion Neighborhood Television thanks our student crews for their hard work and dedication to bringing Dragon Sports to the world. We did not see the coin toss, but since Nick O'Shea, the West Bloomfield kicker, has a football and a tee in his hand, I'm going to assume that Lake Orion's going to receive. Number 10, Drew Van Heck, drops back deep, along with Matt Freeman, Kobe Manzo, and it looks like Taryn Howard. Oh, number 24, I'm sorry. Isaac Kinney are the upbacks.
Another great night for football, huh?
It is a beautiful night here tonight. O'Shea has it teed up. Referee blows his whistle. O'Shea approaches, and we're underway. End over end kick going into the end zone. Lake Orion will start 1st and 10 at the 20. Our officiating crew tonight, the referee is Dennis Wydell. Head linesman is Alex DiMercurio. Tim Curtis is the line judge. Steve Padson is the back judge. And Walt Hunsucker is the umpire. Let's go down to our sideline reporter, Kevin McCormick. Kev.
So tonight, guys, we're going to have a change starting at quarterback. Number 2, Blaze Lauer is going to be the starting quarterback. Number 18, Johnny Marshall's not playing tonight. There's been some violation of team rules that he has to adhere to, and so he won't be playing tonight for that reason. So it'll be Blaze Lauer starting the game.
Blaze Lauer starts at quarterback. He's in the gun alongside Dylan Frank. Drops back. Scrambling to his right, looking for a receiver. Throws. Incomplete. Intended for number 11, Pierce Burke, and Richard Sanders was in on the pass breakup for West Bloomfield. So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 20, just underway.
Lauer did a nice job of rolling out, avoiding pressure from number 11, Desmond Simpson. Able to break contain, and wasn't a lot of room there to try to sneak that ball in. incomplete, obviously. Fortunately, it wasn't intercepted.
Lauer, the hand to Dylan Frank. Breaks one tackle, gets back up to the line of scrimmage and is dropped. It'll be 3rd down and 10 for the Dragons. You're right, Chris, there's a lot of speed in this defense. The linebackers especially are very, very quick to the ball.
And Dylan Frank he's coming out of the game right now, kind of gimping, but he's leading the team this year in rushing yards, 130 yards and 1 touchdown, a couple receiving touchdowns as well. We can't afford to lose Dylan Frank.
Yeah, he pulled up gimpy last week against Adams. And we have a stoppage in play.
I don't know that Orion was set for a full second before they snapped the football.
Referee Dennis Wydell threw the flag. Dead ball. Illegal substitution against the Dragons. So that'll back them up. 5, that makes it 3rd down and 15.
Again, 3rd and 15. It makes it difficult to put, especially when you're back in your own end of the field. Difficult to put plays together to get you out of that hole.
Handoff off the left side and drop for a loss is Tyler Vestran. So the Dragons will go 3 and out and punt with 1 penalty amongst their first drive.
Linebacker here, number 44, Cornell Wheeler, just doesn't get touched and makes a tackle on Vestran for a loss on the play, and that's part of the problem. You've got to be able to get to that second level to block those linebackers. You can't have those linebackers coming that clean, making plays like that.
Parker Bust in his end zone. Jordan Lewis is the personal protector. Good snap. Gets a kick away. It's a high, short kick. Hits on the 26 and bounces up to the 28. So West Bloomfield will take over an excellent field position. 1st and 10.
Well, if you're Lake Orion, not the way you want to start the football game, both offensively and then in special teams wise. And again, given a team like West Bloomfield, again they're 0-2, but very talented. Given a team like West Bloomfield a short field to start their first drive, again makes things difficult for Lake Orion.
Bryce Beasley is the quarterback. He's committed to Bowling Green. Trips to the left, twins to the right. Looks, throws over the middle, got a receiver. Got it complete to number 7, Trevon Mosley. He's got a 1st down to the 14-yard line.
Yeah, Beasley's big kid, 6'4", 230 yards, and they do a lot of this empty backfield, if you will, empty formation. They go with a single back right now, but they like to spread the field and throw to their playmakers.
Throw it on a left flat to Colin Hurd. He's down inside the 5. He had number 30 lined up in the backfield next to him, who we do not have on our roster. So we'll try to update that. West Bloomfield going hurry up.
Colin Hurd, the kid who caught that ball, committed to the University of Buffalo.
Twins to the left. Motion inside handoff, dropped on about the 3. Ball taken by number 6, Colin Hurd, and it'll be 2nd down.
They like to run Hurd a lot on that jet sweep and utilize his speed. Not only down and near the goal line, but out in the open field as well.
Four wides for the Lakers. Motion this way. Beasley throws, incomplete, intended for Trevon Mosley. Just a little high, just off his fingertips, but Mosley was covered pretty well.
That's one of those plays where, like, again, they like to use Hurd in motion. They set that play up, and Mosley just sat down in the end zone waiting for a ball. And again, you're right, it was thrown high and brings up third and goal.
West Bloomfield spreads it out. A double wide, double slot look, empty backfield. Motion. Beasley hands off around the left side, and he didn't get in. That was Colin Hurd again down to the 1.
Nice pursuit by the green. Boy, from up here, it looks like he has the edge. And, boy, Jordan Lewis and others were on the play. Let's see, Jordan Lewis get off his block.
Yeah, he met him and dropped him.
Yep, beautiful.
Made him go
Vesterand
vertical.
was in there on the play. Well done, Dragons.
So 4th and 1, and West Bloomfield's going for it. Have an up back. Beasley's in a semi-pistol around the left side, and in for the touchdown is Colin Hurd. 27 yards in 6 plays for the West Bloomfield touchdown.
They just run a little lead play. They stack their backs, and Hurd just follows his fullback, Shamar Dennis, into the end zone untouched until he got past the goal line.
Well, Hurd was doing a little high stepping just before he got there, and Chris Cade came over and gave him a hip shot, and he was already in. But it's the old story, don't start celebrating your touchdown until you're in. Point after is good. West Bloomfield out to an early 7-0 lead. DVD copies can be purchased by calling ONTV at 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060. For only $10, you can get a copy of not only this game, but any game or program in our broadcast vault. DVD copies, 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060. So Dragons look to make something happen on their second possession. A costly substitution penalty drove them back on their first possession.
We've talked about it before. It's those little things that just nag at you, gnaw at you. That as a coaching staff, it gets frustrating to be able to try to overcome those things that you know are things that you can control, and that's what's frustrating about a drive like that, if you will, or a start like that, I should say, of the game, if you will.
O'Shea approaches. High end over end kick coming down. Taken on the goal line. By Drew Van Heck. He's got it out over the 20 to the 21-yard line, where the Dragons will take over 1st and 10. O'Shea, that really won't show up because it was a nice high kick. It didn't go into the end zone, but it was high enough that the coverage unit could get down and hold him to really a minimal return. Dylan Frank back in with Kobe Manzo as the up back. Van Heck split wide right. Pierce Burks, Van Heck split to the left. Handoff Dylan Frank up the middle. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. I think they're giving him a half a yard gain. That'll bring up 2nd and 9.
that type of formation, you're bringing the Lakers into the box, if you will. And again, with that good push by Manzo right here, but offensive line-wise, the Lakers came off their blocks and ended up making the play for just a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, number 61, Jamar Ross, was in there quickly. He's 6'3", 300 pounds. And we have a flag. Dead ball. Substitution penalty against West Bloomfield. And I'm trying to figure out what he did. The referee gave the signal like it would have been an eligible number coming, but against the defense. Toss back, Dylan Frank cuts it upfield. He's got a first down over the 30 to the 36-yard line.
It's a nice play by the Dragons. They did a nice job of setting the edge and maintaining, allowing Dylan to get outside, follow his fullback, Manzo. Manzo does a nice kick-out block. Frank does a nice cut inside the block. Nice blocking downfield by Van Heck. Results in a first down.
Up the middle with some green grass in front of him. Tyler Vestrand on the run. From the 37 to the 28.
Tell you what, Vestrand hit that hole and hit it hard. I mean, there was no stopping. There was no cut. There was no. He found a hole straight up the, just to the right of the center, and boom, he's off to the races.
Yeah, the defense could just throw arms at him. Dylan Frank coming around the left, cuts it up, down to the 25.
You know, two plays like that in a row. Here's the Vestrand play. He just hits that hole and goes. Great job up front by that Dragon offensive line. Boom, nice block by Manzo right there as a fullback. Vestrand does cut right there, but open field, missed on the safety, missed on the tackle.
Well, he showed some speed coming out of there too. Twins to the right, offset eye in the backfield. Dylan Frank again pounds it down to about the 22-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5 for the Dragons. 5:30 left here in the first quarter.
It's a drive like this that can really instill some confidence in an offense, especially for a young quarterback like Blaze Lauer as a sophomore. And so now it's a big 3rd down play for the Dragons.
Van Heck and Pierce Burke split to the right. Dylan Frank again cuts back. He's got an opening down to the 10. Got a first down inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal for the Dragons. Good awareness by Dylan that time. Look at him cut outside right there.
Great cutback, yeah, absolutely. And that's the vision a good running back has to have. You know, Dylan's a north and south runner. He likes to run this way, but you've got to have, no matter what type of runner you are, you got to have the vision to be able to see those holes, and he certainly did that time.
Good stiff arm on Nick Siddell for 5 more yards. So 1st and goal from the 9. Tyler Vestrand up inside the 5 to the 4.
Tell you what, that Dragon offensive line is really getting doing a nice job getting some movement. You don't see a lot of white jerseys in that Dragon backfield, at least on this drive you haven't. Goes without saying, but now it's time to convert.
You've got to get it in. Yeah.
You can't settle for 3. You've got to settle for 7.
Twins split to the right, I formation in the backfield. Lauer under center. Handoff to the up back. Kobe Manzo in, touchdown Lake Orion Dragons. Just kept the feet moving and got it in from 4 yards out. Good drive by the Dragons.
Really good drive, really good drive. I mean, to answer a touchdown on a short field with a touchdown of their own, very, very impressive.
Parker Blust on for the extra point. Blaze Lauer will hold. High snap, ball's down, kick is up, and the kick is good. 3:55 left here in the first. We're tied at 7.
Straight little dive option. Lauer pulls it out, or gives the ball to Manzo. Look at the leg drive. Look at the lean. Look at him driving the defender into the end zone. Tight spin, finally gets in. Little help right there by Austin Finley, but you know what? Punches it into the end zone.
He was wrapped up by Richard Sanders on the 3. Richard Sanders on the 3, and just kept his legs moving and took him in the end zone with him. Good drive by the Dragons. 79 yards in 9 plays for the touchdown.
Longest scoring drive of the season for the Dragons.
Parker Blust has it teed up. Number 6, Colin Hurd, is back deep for West Bloomfield, along with number 21, Chase Swoop. Parker puts a foot into it, end over end kick. Into the end zone, it'll come out to the 20. West Bloomfield takes over 1st and 10. Once again this year, replays for this game are sponsored by Jets Pizza. Jets Pizza, with 2 convenient locations in the Orion area, proud supporters of ONTV since 2009.
I'll tell you what, you got 2 0-2 football teams out here, and
you never tell about what we've seen.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Beasley leads him out. He's got number 33, Shamar Dennis, in the backfield. He's a 5'9" senior, and he looks really small next to Vesley. Complete out to the flat to number 9, A.J. Abbott, and he's another one of the
Wisconsin
commits.
They like to, again, spread the field and just a lot of times just run a little hitch routes. And the Lake Orion defensive backs have got to consider the speed. And they're just, again, trying to get their playmakers in open space and let them do what they can do.
First down, trips to the right, twins to the left, empty backfield for Veasley. Beasley looking, tipped and almost intercepted by Sam Kinney. He was looking for a slant to Colin Hurd, and Kinney got in there, stuck his paw up there, and almost came away with it.
He was reading Veasley the whole way, reading that front shoulder, and that front shoulder was leading him to exactly where that ball was being thrown. That was could have been very quickly a pick 6 going the other way.
So 2nd and 10, trips again to the right, and we have a stoppage of play. Lake Orion's going to take a timeout.
Personnel situation they got tied up into. They had to call time, otherwise they would have had 12 on the field.
So, during our stoppage,
you know what you can do? You can go mobile with ONTV anytime. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube on your mobile devices. Connect with ONTV to see what's happening in our studio. See upcoming events and watch ONTV programs in high definition and on demand. ONTV, working to bring Lake Orion to the world. speaking of the world, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, and my thoughts and prayers are going out to the individuals certainly down in the Houston area, and certainly what's going on down in the Florida Keys and Cuba area, and our prayers and thoughts are with everybody.
I had been in contact with a girl I went to school with who is now in the Houston area, and on social media she has been all through the hurricane. She was updating on what was going on, and we take a lot of things for granted. One of them is we're up high, fairly high here. So 2nd and 10 for West Bloomfield. Beasley back, throws deep, caught by number 9, A.J. Abbott. He outleaped number 22, Sam Perillo. Or was that Chad Doland? I couldn't see if it was 22 or 29. 22. And he took it all away.
Perillo did not have that bad a coverage. Once all of a sudden you see it up top, he's in his back pocket. Beasley throws a nice ball. And look at that. Perillo's right there, but when it's all said and done, Abbott used that length of it. He's about 2 inches taller than Perillo, and he was able to meet that ball at its highest point, and that shows you right there one reason he's going to be playing at the next level next year in Division I college football.
Extra point by O'Shea is up and good. 3:25 left here in the first after a 66-yard Bryce Beasley to A.J. Abbott touchdown. West Bloomfield is up 14-7. Be sure to tune in to replays of your favorite games right here on ONTV. Tune in Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays as we look at the replay again. Good vertical extension.
Yeah, Perillo's got his hand right there. And kid made a play.
Yeah, there's a difference of 2 inches in their height, but in that 2 inches is probably the difference of a breakup or a catch.
So now, West Bloomfield had a 26-yard drive. They now had a 66-yard touchdown pass. Now we got to see how Lake Orion answers that score.
If you can get in them score for score, it's going to be a track meet here tonight.
Both teams doing it so far in different methods, in the passing game, West Bloomfield, on the ground, Lake Orion.
Nick O'Shea has the ball teed up. Referee Dennis Waddell blows the whistle. High end over end kick into the end zone. It'll come out to the 20 where Lake Orion will take over. 1st and 10. As we were saying before the replay, which we just watched, be sure to tune in to replays of your favorite games right here on Orion Neighborhood Television. Tune in Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 7 p.m., Saturdays at 1 p.m. for the most current games in our lineup. Games are also replayed throughout the week, so check our program guide on our webpage at Orion, ONTV.org, for replay times that best fit your viewing schedule. Also visit our YouTube link for games on demand. 1st and 10 for the Dragons from their own 20. I formation. Dylan Frank gets the call.
I think he tripped up over his own lineman.
I think he did.
Yep.
They're going to mark him with a 1-yard loss. So that'll bring up 2nd and 11 from the 19 with 3 minutes left here in the first quarter.
Yep, he sure did.
Kobe Manzo checks back in, and Trevor Burke checks out for the Dragons. Backs in an offset eye, 1 wide out. Lauer rolling, looking, throwing, incomplete. He was under pressure and just led Pierce Burke a little too much.
Yeah, that pressure was coming from Desmond Simpson there on the end. Lauer could never quite get his shoulders turned to be able to get enough on it to throw that little outcut, that comeback route. So he was open, but could never quite get those shoulders turned enough to allow him to get enough on that throw to get it completed. He's kind of drifting away to the sideline as that ball's being thrown. A quarterback, you want to be attacking the line as best you can to be able to get a little bit more on it.
Kind of a double wide, double slot look for the Dragons. Lauer looks, rolls, throws, got it complete to Pierce Burke. He gets maybe 3 yards, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Burks comes into the game leading the Dragons in receptions, four receptions for 81 yards. And Burke was certainly open a little bit earlier. I don't know that Lauer could see over the line, and the pass rush that was in his face ends up finding him, but certainly short of the 1st down sticks.
So Parker Blust comes in to punt it away. Number 2, Richard Sanders, back deep for West Bloomfield. Good snap. Nice kick. High kick. Sanders takes it on the 38 up to the 45. Spins up over midfield, and they'll mark him down at the Lake Orion 49.
Yeah, good high hang time there allowed that Dragons coverage team, the punt coverage team, to get downfield and make a nice stop for about a 7-yard return.
So for the 2nd time tonight, and they've marked it back to the West Bloomfield 49. I was ready to say for the 2nd time they start in Dragon territory, but they're on their side. Two wideouts right, one wideout left. One running back, he gets the call. It's number 33, Shamar Dennis. He's got a gain of about 3 yards into Dragon territory to the 48.
Again, they just like to try to spread the field out, find those little gaps up front, those holes up front, and they'll run a little draw play. And Dennis does a nice job of finding the hole, but Vestran and others, Kinney as well, close it down fairly quickly.
5 wideouts for the Lakers on 2nd down. Beasley looks, throws, got a receiver. Got number 7, Trevon Mosley. He takes it down to the 26-yard line.
I think it's going to come back. There's a penalty on this Lake Orion sideline here.
Oh, yes. And they're calling them back. It's a procedure call against West Bloomfield.
They'll take it because Mosley was wide open on that outcut. Where do we have the false start here? It's one thing about high school, they don't mention the numbers. We just got to surmise sometimes. Boy.
I didn't see it.
I didn't either. It was thrown right away, though.
But the official did, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, we're just sitting up at the box. We're not wearing the stripes.
So it's 2nd down and 12 for West Bloomfield. 5 wideouts again. Beasley's in the gun, looks, throws. In and out of the hands of Taj Mustafa. He went low for it.
Yeah, I don't know if he heard Sam Kinney's footsteps there or not, but he was going to be on that. Yeah, maybe no, maybe not. He just lost.
He took his eyes off.
Yep, you're right. Yep. He's another kid that's is committed to Wisconsin to play for Bucky Badger.
3 wideouts left, 2 right. Beasley again in the gun on 3rd down. Blitz by the Dragons, intercepted. Coming back the other way, Isaac Kinney. How huge is that?
What a pass drop by Kinney, the sophomore. You see him just sitting down in the hole and reading Beasley the entire way. Beasley's trying to throw the ball to Trevon Mosley and just reads that front shoulder, and does a nice job sitting in the passing lane, picks it off, and Lake Orion will take over on their own 49-yard line. You got sophomores making plays for the Dragons. That's exciting to see.
It is. Dylan Frank on the run. He's over midfield into West Bloomfield territory, down to the 48-yard line, gain of 3.
You got a quarterback in Blaze Lauer leading the team right now. You got Kobe Manzo scored a touchdown here, and you got Isaac Kinney intercepting the ball to allow the Dragons to get back in this football game.
That'll be the end of the first quarter. We played 1. West Bloomfield 14, Lake Orion 7. We'll be right back.
The United States Air Force has a proud history of leading our nation in embracing diversity. We've been reaching new heights for years by understanding it's our individual experiences which make us strong. You can share in this success by seeking opportunities to learn and grow as a member of a diverse team. We are the world's greatest Air Force, not because of what we do, but who we are. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Back for the start of the second quarter. Let's throw it down to the sideline, and here's Kevin McCormick.
Yeah, guys, I think you can see that there's a lot more excitement down here on the field and with the team tonight than in previous weeks. The team seems to be really rallying around Blaze Lauer as the starting quarterback tonight. So I think that we'll see a much more improved performance this week over last week. But a lot of that has to do with the team coming together and really working hard. So we'll see how it turns out.
2nd and 7 for the Dragons. On the West Bloomfield 47. Backs in I formation in the backfield, receivers left and right. Lauer's under center. Toss back to Dylan Frank coming around the right side. Got some blockers in front of him, and we got a flag thrown.
Yeah,
Dylan makes it down to the West Bloomfield 35. And it's going to be a hold against the Dragons.
Yeah, they got Kobe Manzo on the kick-out block.
Casey Stronach checks in for the Dragons. So that'll back the Dragons up.
Watch Kobe Manzo, the fullback, number 40, coming here trying to kick out number 2 right here. And looks good to me, until there's a grab right there.
Right there.
And
when the cloth starts to pull, the flag will come
Well,
out.
that and then the hands went up. Kobe put the hands up, and it's you're kind of giving yourself up.
So that makes it a 2nd and 16 for the Dragons. Dragons go trips with a single back. Draw. Tyler Vestrand got hit at the 41 and dropped. It'll be 3rd down.
Cornell Wheeler made the play. He's a sophomore, 6', 210 sophomore. Good sized kid.
It's taken a long time to play 2nd down. We had a penalty against West Bloomfield, quarter, and one against Lake Orion. Now we make it to 3rd down and 18 for the Dragons.
That's another opportunity you see right there. A linebacker for West Bloomfield being untouched, and he's able to make a play in the backfield.
Lauer back to throw, got pressure. Just threw it. He may get called for grounding. He just threw the ball on the ground. There wasn't a receiver, an eligible receiver around. The ball didn't make it back to the line of scrimmage.
They're trying to run screen. And Vestrand's right here, number 32, and they just had too much pressure, and they couldn't get the ball off. They're trying to run that middle screen play. And it's about all Lauer could do at that time.
So that'll bring up 4th down. Parker Blust comes in to punt. Richard Sanders back deep, standing on, moving back to the 20-yard line. Not much wind. The flag's sitting pretty still. Nice high kick. Fair catch called for, lets it go. Takes a Lake Orion bounce inside the 10 to the 7.
Beautiful punt. Beautiful punt. That's the Parker Blust we know.
A 52-yard punt. And coming in, what did his average was 25.7. In the early weeks, he was under pressure all the time. So West Bloomfield takes over deep in their own territory. Ball's on the 8. Twins to the right, single wide out, or twins to the left, single wide out to the right. Beasley looking, throwing deep, got a receiver, caught. And A.J. Abbott, and no one's going to touch him. 92 yards.
Well, certainly you've got two kids with pitch and catch, can throw a football and catch a football like that. But when it's all said and done, that Lakers offensive line is doing a nice job of providing the protection for Beasley. They rushed 4 that time, and he's got all the time in the world to be able to sit in that pocket and complete that ball. And
it's a beautifully thrown ball.
Perillo gets a hand on the ball after the ball was in Abbott's hands, and then it was off to the races for 6.
So Nick O'Shea will try the extra point. Oh, what are we doing? Yeah. O'Shea will try the extra point. Nick Sedell is the holder. Kick is up, and the kick is good. 10:42 left here in the first half. Lakers increase their lead to 21-7.
That's one of those opportunities where when it's all said and done, had a great punt, buried the Lakers down in their own side of the field. You needed to get a 3-and-out or a turnover inside down on that end of the field, and just the opposite. A big strike, big play. 92 yards later.
And to Beasley's credit, he threw a beautiful ball.
Beautiful.
He put it up where only Abbott could get it. And A.J. Abbott is 6'2", 190.
That's where pass rush is so important. You can't let Beasley sit back there. He's going to Bowling Green next year. You can't let him just sit back there and pick apart a secondary. And that's got to be a big part of the Lake Orion trying to get back into this football game.
During this sports season, ONTV will be covering a large variety of games. Our sports coverage will include varsity volleyball, soccer, football, and swimming. Select games will be streamed live on the NFHSnetwork.com and will be replayed on our Channel 10 Comcast and AT&T Channel 99. Visit OrionONTV.org for our program schedule. 21-7. West Bloomfield has the ball teed up. Drew Van Heck and Matt Freeman back deep for the Dragons. High short kick taken by Freeman on the 2, up to the 10, cuts upfield to the 15 and down at the 20. Number 24, Deron Jenkins in on the stop for West Bloomfield. So Lake Orion will take over 1st and 10. Nose of the football is right on the 20-yard line.
We talked about at the beginning some of the keys of the game, sustaining drives. And you know, that second drive, Lake Orion they sustained a drive. Nice methodical, moved the ball downfield, putting points on the board. The drives, the first drive and the third drive that Lake Orion had were 3 and outs, and they resulted into 14 points for the Dragons, or for the Lakers, excuse me.
So Dragons have it 1st and 10. Inside handoff, Dylan Frank. He's up over to the 20 to, they're going to call him the 22. Let's give him 2 on that. It'll bring up 2nd and 8. Dragons come out, 2 backs in the backfield. Trevor Burke in as a lead back in front of Dylan Frank. Lauer rolls, keeps, gets maybe to the 25, and it'll bring up 3rd down. I think he was hoping to capitalize on West Bloomfield keying on Dylan Frank, and he just kept it on the rollout.
The rollout to the short side of the field, and Blaze does a nice job of providing that extra dimension on the perimeter. He's got a little bit of speed that he can use his feet, use his legs to be able to make things happen. So he tried to make as much as he could happen right there for a 2-yard gain, 3-yard gain. Start to say early on in these games that these 3rd downs are big plays, but again, in order to sustain drives, these are big plays.
Van Heck and Burt split wide.
And legal substitution again.
Dead ball, delay a game.
Delay.
Now, as an offensive coach, do you find that it takes something out of the rhythm to have your quarterback run to the sideline every time to get a play?
There's something to that. There's something to that. It's a conditioning thing too when it's all said and done. You know, a lot of teams do it. A lot of teams, have over the years it started to signal things in. So, or shuttle plays in with players. So, to each their own how they get their plays in.
So 3rd and 10, low snap.
Good pickup by Vestrand.
Lauer cuts it back upfield up to the 25-yard line. Gets the penalty yardage back, but it'll be 4th down.
There's something, though, too, about that offensive coordinator being able to be talking to the quarterback and getting him up if need be, or making sure that he's still leading out there and communicating properly and seeing the whites of the eyes of that quarterback to be able to make sure that they're ready to go and lead their football team.
Nice punt. Taken on the 30-yard line by number 2, Richard Sanders. He's up to maybe call it the 43, and West Bloomfield to take over 1st and 10. 8:21 left here in the first half.
Time to turn one of those, time to turn another interception again. Get this thing turned around.
3-man defensive front for the Dragons. Low snap. Beasley throws wide open. Was that 3, Taj Mustafa? That's his first catch of the night.
Again, they just run a little out cut, and the outside guy clears. And you're right, Doug, there's nobody in that flat area. Mustafa just does a little out cut about 5 yards, and again, does what he can in the open field.
Mustafa again off the left side, getting hemmed in, tries to cut it back, and he's taken down on the 44-yard line. It'll be second down, gain of 6.
And one of the things that we talked about, or Coach Bellamy talked about in the preseason previews, is one of their concerns is, even they got a lot of talent out there, college talent out there, is how do you blend it all in? How do you get it all to mix and match and so it fits in? And that can be a good problem to have.
Beasley on the low snap has no place to go. He's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. That's been about 3 snaps out of the gun that have been at his feet.
Yeah, I don't know. Was he just trying to make something happen, trying to see if something was going to open up? I don't know.
The snap bounced up to him. It was on the turf before it got to him, and by the time he got it, everything had developed, and he just had to eat it. So third down, they're calling it 4 from the 37. Twins right, single wide out left. Beasley throws, got it to Mustafa. Inside the 20 to the 17. Taj Mustafa beginning to make himself heard.
Yeah, it's 3 touches, 3 catches in this particular drive. They just do a little play action fake and run that little slant route to the slot receiver, Mustafa, and knows exactly where he needs to go for that first down and more.
Lakers going no huddle. Twins right, single wide out left, single back in the backfield. Beasley throws, caught, out of bounds. Good coverage back there by Marcus Brown, who stayed step by step, or step for step, with Mosley.
You're right, Doug. Not only that, but he did a nice job of pushing the defender, Mosley to the sideline. Great camera work there, great shot right there. Kept making it more difficult for Beasley to complete that football.
Beasley throws out on the right flat, caught, first down, complete to A.J. Abbott. It'll be first and goal for the Lakers. 6:29 left in the first half.
And a difficult thing with this no huddle, quick offense that Lake Orion's trying to get guys in and out.
And we're going to have a procedure call against West Bloomfield.
Yeah, left tackle Javon Foster moved.
When you're 6'6", 290, you get caught.
He's committed to Central Michigan to play.
So that'll back him up 5. It'll make it repeat first and goal from the 12. Can't be the 12. Yeah, they're marking it back. So trips come out to the left, Twins to the right, empty backfield.
They sure do
for Beasley.
They sure do maximize that space horizontally on the field, don't they, with these formations?
Boy. Throw, touchdown for West Bloomfield. Number 9, A.J. Abbott just caught the slant and backed in. .57 yards in 7 plays for the West Bloomfield touchdown.
Yeah, double slant actually, double slant, and Isaac Kinney kind of went in with the inside slant, the inside slant, and that just opened up the window enough for Veasley to hit Abbott on the little slant on the outside, take it in for touchdown.
O'Shea on for the point after. Ball's down, kick is up, and the kick is good. 6:04 left to play in the first half. 28-7. West Bloomfield on top. Orion Neighborhood Television is getting ready to launch our brand new internet radio station. You can create your own podcast or radio show or sign up to become a DJ. For more information on the radio station, give us a call at 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060.
I wanna spin some 45s. You remember those?
Are you? Yeah, that was it. From I mean, I didn't come in. I came in after the '78 phase at Long Gone.
All right. Kids nowadays listen to this, they have no idea what we're talking about.
We can start a show streaming with the oldies.
There you go. Tell you what, speaking of oldies, I went down to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame last week, 2 weeks ago. Oh my God, I had a great time.
Really?
Great time. I loved it. I know we're not talking music, we're talking football. I went to the Pro Football Hall of Fame the day before. So
you were saying your daughter had a great time in Canton.
Yep, we had a great time.
O'Shea has it teed up, approaches. Short kick. Coming down to Freeman on the 7. He's got a seam up to the 30.
Almost.
Matt Freeman took it, and a little bit of Le'Veon Bell there because he just waited for the crease to open up and then he hit it.
Well, yeah, exactly. He saw that vertical seam and boom, right up the gut there. Looked like they were trying to. He saw it right there. Boom, there he goes. Yep. Good vision. Good vision. I don't know if they were trying to right return or what, but turned it into a middle return and had a nice return.
Liamani Laster on the stop for West Bloomfield. Dragons 1st and 10. Inside handoff, Kobe Manzo over to 30 to the 33. It'll be 2nd down. Kobe Manzo is impressive for a sophomore.
Yeah, good size. Good size. We're listed at 5'10", 190. He's only going to get bigger, only going to get stronger.
Of course, there are some of us remember his dad, former baseball coach Jim Manzo, play. Dylan Frank got a little seam over the side up to the 25, and it'll be 3rd down. Here's where the Dragons got to convert.
They got to convert. They got to get to those linebackers that are making plays at the 2nd level. Seidel, the last 2 plays from his safety spot, has made tackles. So
Coach Bellamy is active on that West Bloomfield sideline, isn't he?
He's trying to get his steps in for the day.
Twins to the right, offset eye in the backfield, ball's on the ground. Picked up Tyler Vestrand. Just couldn't get the handle on it, and the Dragons will have to punt.
Let's see where this ball was. I don't know if it was on his back hip or not, Vestrand's back hip. Yeah, I think it's hard to tell by that angle.
Yeah, I think the toss was in back of him. He had to reach back to get it.
It looked pretty good. Nice boot. Nice boot.
Nice kick.
Get on it. Get on it.
It's a live ball brought down at the 13-yard line. Number 3, Marcus Brown, back on the coverage and brought him down.
Terrific coverage. Great angle to the football. Great angle to the punt returner. Under 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Lake Orion has got to find a way to get that ball back. Nice punt by Parker again.
Was that Beasley back on the punt return? No, that's number 2, Richard Sanders. It was a good punt. He tried to make an over-the-shoulder catch and just lost a handle on it. So trips to the left, Twins to the right. Empty backfield for Beasley. Beasley looks, throws, on the comeback to Taj Mustafa. Breaks a tackle, gets up to the 17-yard line. Gain of 4. 2nd and 6 with 3:40 left in the half. And West Bloomfield gets the ball back to start the second half. Again, trips to the right.
Talk about passing windows, passing lanes, and certainly Beasley's having all day to throw, no matter where he's throwing on the football field.
Beasley on the keeper. Jordan Lewis wrapped him up. Got him up to the 20. It'll be 3rd down.
That is a big quarterback. I'm telling you, he looks big from up here. I know he's big down there. Good size.
6'4", 225 senior.
Tough guy to bring down.
Number 30, who we still do not have on our roster, is split out to the right. Third down and 3. Looks, throws, complete to number 30, who we don't have on our roster.
Ball was completed, but for a first down for the Lakers, but it sure looked like offensively they were a misassignment in terms of the look. They had a couple guys bunched together in that formation. A couple guys right next to each other.
1st and 10. Single wide out to the left and trips right. Looks, throws. Got a first down. Out to number 9, A.J. Abbott. And they're just using that kind of as a wide receiver screen. Now they set up trips left, Twins right. Under 2 minutes left in the half. Beasley from the gun, looks, throws over the middle. Got to receive, ball's on the ground.
Did they call that complete? Wow.
Trevon Mosley made the catch. The ball was on the ground.
Sure looked like it was incomplete pass to me, but officials are talking about.
They're going to have a discussion.
Let's see the replay here. See if we can get a good look. If he catches the ball, has possession of it. Oh, he never had possession. No.
But they're giving him the completion.
And the fumble
recovery.
Wow. That's one where you wish you could throw your red flag and go up to the top and review.
Wow.
Someday that's going to get to the high school level. Someday.
Boy, that's such an expense.
I know.
So 1st and 10 for the Lakers on the Lake Orion 37-yard line. And we have a stoppage in play, and they're going to call procedure against West Bloomfield. They had the trips set up out here to the left, and one of them took off a little early. So that'll back them up 5. It'll make it 1st and 15 from the Lake Orion 41. A minute 10 left in the first half. John Atwater is down in the truck pushing the buttons today. Tessa Bratton running around making sure everything goes right. Beasley throws. Had a receiver intended for Taj Mustafa, broken up by Marcus Brown, and both of them are going to look for over-the-shoulder catches.
Good pressure that time by, right off the edge. Good pressure that time by Burke and Lewis. Getting Beasley's face on that throw.
So that'll bring up 2nd and 15. Twins left, twins right, single back in the backfield. Beasley looks, throws, dropped. He had Parker Edmonds cutting in front of him. A.J. Abbott was the intended receiver.
Tried to throw it on that back shoulder for Abbott to catch away from Edmonds. Those back shoulder catches are oftentimes a little bit tougher. Tell you what, Beasley can throw pretty much any ball on this field here.
You watch his motion. He is a polished quarterback. Stays in the gun. Rolls right, looks, throws, incomplete. Caught out of bounds. That'll bring up 4th and 15 for the Lakers. And this is going to be an interesting call. West Bloomfield has not had to punt today. And West Bloomfield is going to take a timeout and talk about it. While we have a break with 32.2 seconds, Larry Buss and the crew at Jets Pizza, located at 1091 South Lapeer Road, have been a proud supporter of Orion Neighborhood Television and Dragon Athletics since 2009. Jets supplies catering for the cast and crew. Thank you, Larry, for your continued support. Give them a call and order a pizza at 248-814-7559. Fourth down and 15 for West Bloomfield. Twins to the right, single wide out to the left. Backs in an offset eye with Beasley in the gun. Looks, throws. Incomplete. Dragons take over on downs. Where the ball was, that's kind of that no man's land between being able to punt, because high school punters just don't go for the corners as well as you'd like. Or you might as well go for it.
Not only that, but you know, Lakers have had success so far this first half, getting first downs, scoring points. On the flip side, Lake Orion has not, other than the one drive, moved the ball very well. So that's probably what Coach Bellamy was thinking at that point in time.
28.3 seconds left. Inside handoff. Kobe Manzo up to midfield. And into West Bloomfield territory, just shy of the first down. They're calling it, and Lake Orion's taking a timeout. Boy, that's close enough to measure.
Well, that's just it. I think that's what Coach Fisher on the sideline is complaining about to the officials, that they were trying to, is it a first down, is it not? That really determines whether or not they're going to use that timeout or not. So
the sticks on the far side are set up on the 49-yard line. The nose of the ball is shy of the 49-yard line. So from here, it does not look like a first down. Now, they can request a measurement.
Well, I think, the Lake Orion Coach Blackstock now is talking to the side judge over here, and that he was, wanted to know whether it was a first down or not. He probably lost 5 to 6 seconds of valuable time trying to get that timeout in.
2nd and 1, 15.5 seconds left. Lake Orion has one timeout left. Motion this side. First down Dragons, Tyler Vestrand, and the clock stops to reset the chains. They're going to have to get the play called. Here they come. Got to hurry. And Lauer spikes it to kill the clock with 6 seconds left. So it'll be 2nd and 10. The ball is on the West Bloomfield 44. Matt Freeman checks in. Number 81, Brandon Robinson checks in, who's a 6'1", 180-pound junior. Dragons set up twins both sides. Dylan Frank is the lone back in the backfield. Lauer looks. Got pressure, rolls out, coming back the other way, picks up a block. Throws to Dylan Frank, it's incomplete, and the half has ended. We are at halftime. The West Bloomfield Lakers 28, the Lake Orion Dragons 7. Halftime is underwritten by Malash's Palace, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, located at 3800 South Lapeer Road in Lake Orion. Malash's Palace has been serving Lake Orion's automotive needs since the 1960s. We're at halftime, 28-7 West Bloomfield. You're watching exclusive coverage of Lake Orion Dragon football here on Orion Neighborhood Television.
Behind the wheel in that 43 car.
We all have a role to play here at Richard Petty Motorsports. We respect each other, work hard, and that helped us get the big win in Daytona. My partners in the U.S. Air Force also know that it takes a team to make each mission a success. Your coworkers, family, and friends are your team. Treat them with respect, and together you can accomplish great things. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
We're at halftime. The West Bloomfield Lakers lead the Lake Orion Dragons 28-7. We will remind you again that halftime is sponsored by Malash's Palace, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, located at 3800 South Lapeer Road in Lake Orion. Malash's Palace has been serving Lake Orion's automotive needs since the 1960s. Lake Orion Marching Band takes the field under the direction of Director of Bands Michael Steele. Halftime again is sponsored by Molosses Palace Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, located at 3800 South Lapeer Road in Lake Orion. Molosses Palace has been serving Lake Orion's automotive needs since the 1960s. We're at halftime. The band has finished their performance. There's some ceremonies going on out on the field. We'll be back. You're watching exclusive coverage of Lake Orion Dragon football here on Orion Neighborhood Television.
Today, a new creature walks among us, terrorizing innocent citizens. Until this threat can be contained, we must all be on the lookout for the dreaded digital deadwalkers.
Dude!
They're not looking out for you.
Engage!
A public service safety message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons, who want to keep everyone well connected with strong, healthy bones.
We're at halftime. The West Bloomfield Lakers leading the Lake Orion Dragons 28-7. Chris, you've got halftime stats, such as they are.
Yeah, scoring plays. West Bloomfield opened the scoring at 7:47 of the first quarter. Colin Hurd, 1-yard run, go up 7-0. Lake Orion answered that score. Kobe Manzo touchdown from 4 yards out to make it 7-7. The next drive, two plays, sorry. Bryce Veasley complete to A.J. Abbott for 66 yards to go up 14-7 at the end of the first quarter. West Bloomfield scored 2 touchdowns in the second quarter. Veasley to Abbott again for 92 yards out to make it 21-7. And then Veasley again to Abbott, his 3rd touchdown of the night so far for 12 yards to make it 28-7. 28-7 at halftime. The statistics aren't as probably even look worse, to be honest with you, for Lake Orion. West Bloomfield 313 yards of total offense to Lake Orion's 94. Lake Orion 4 yards passing to West Bloomfield's 304 yards passing in the first half. Veasley for West Bloomfield is 14 of 23, 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. Lake Orion 90 yards on the ground rushing to West Bloomfield's 9. Individually, Blaze Lauer is 1 of 6 for 4 yards on the ground for the Lake Orion. Dylan Frank 10 attempts for 36 yards. Tyler Vestran 6 carries for 30 yards. Kobe Manzo 3 for 16 and a touchdown. So A.J. Abbott for West Bloomfield receiving 6 receptions, 209 yards and 3 touchdowns, averaging almost 35 yards of reception.
Amazing. Well, there's not much we can add to that. We knew that they were good, and that's an understatement, at the skilled positions. That's been on display tonight. They can get away with throwing the ball as much as they do because they've got the athletes to make that possible. Lake Orion hung with them for about a quarter and a half. And you know, the better athletes that they have shown through. Yep. And Lake Orion, West Bloomfield gets the ball back to start the second half, and the best thing Lake Orion can do is make a defensive statement coming out.
Yeah, West Bloomfield, as much as publicity and notoriety and preseason projections, which, as you know, don't mean anything. You got to wonder if, you know, those first 2 games they didn't read their press clippings and start believing them, thinking they could just walk out there and win a football game. It doesn't work that way in the OAA Red, or it doesn't work that way in Michigan high school football. So, you know, I don't know if this for West Bloomfield, that is, I don't know if this is something that helps them turn their corner and make them say that, you know, we can get things together. On the flip side, Lake Orion, again, is still trying to find that offensive identity that can keep them in football games. Again, we go back to the keys to the game. Sustaining the drive was one of them, and I thought they, again, answered that first touchdown by West Bloomfield with a nice drive of their own, but they then reverted to defensively, giving up the big plays, and as a result, we see this 28-7 score.
And talking to Coach Blackstock before the game, and he said, you know, the schedule makers were very cruel because they gave him Chippewa Valley, then Rochester Adams, then West Bloomfield, week to week to week. And yeah, they'll play them as they come. That's why you're in the OAA Red. But I think it's going to be a great benefit for this team to go play Troy Athens next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Troy Athens is 0-2. Next week at Athens, it's going to be their homecoming, an early homecoming already. So they play tonight, and you know, they're struggling as a program and struggling as a team so far this year. They've struggled to put points on the board themselves. So it'll be an interesting matchup next week. That being said, we got another half to go, and Lake Orion's got to find a way to scratch and crawl and get back into this football game. You know, I think the effort's better tonight than it was last week, and that's you know, certainly there's no such thing. Coaches don't think there's a thing as anything as a positive victory, if you will, that doesn't result in a scoreboard. But when it's all said and done, the effort's better, and they're doing some things that they can build upon. Like we talked about the sophomores stepping up and making plays in that first half. Now we're going to see some other individuals making some plays and to help get Lake Orion back in this thing. You know, here's the other thing too. West Bloomfield was up 24-7 last week with 6 minutes and 34 seconds to go, and they end up losing the football game. You know, so.
And that's what Coach Bellamy told me before the game, that they've got to be able to get in and finish. High kick taken on the 1, taken by Colin Hurd. He gets it close to the 24-yard line, where West Bloomfield will take over first and 10. Your third quarter of action is underwritten by Classic Lanes, your home for family fun and entertainment in Rochester Hills. Their 32-lane facility offers state-of-the-art bowling equipment for both league and recreational bowlers. Check them out at myclassiclanes.com. So West Bloomfield takes over first and 10 on their own 24-yard line. One wide out, one back in the backfield. Looks, throws, caught. Beasley to Trayvon Mosley. He got a gain of 9. It'll be 2nd and 1. Scoreboard for the second half of this game is brought to you by Lakes Community Credit Union. The not-for-profit institution has been providing financial services to the Oakland County area since 1937. Give them a call at 248-814-4003. Beasley looks, throws. Incomplete. Bring up 3rd and 1. That was a quick play, and I'll tell you what you say about Beasley. He's big and he can throw the football.
That one he threw right into the dirt, I think, because number 15, Chris Cade, was right in the passing lane. Good thing he did, otherwise it might have gone the other way.
So 3rd down and 1 for the Lakers. Single back in the backfield with Beasley in the pistol. Looks, throws, got a receiver, got a first down out to the 45-yard line. Trayvon Mosley again.
To start the drive, the very first play of the first half, there's ball thrown, and Good camera work here. It looks like that ball touches the ground. They gave it a completion. Gave it a completion to Mosley, but good camera work showing that it certainly hit the ground.
Beasley got pressure, looks, going deep, got a receiver, got it, in for the touchdown. He had pressure, got it to A.J. Abbott.
Tell you what, number 9's having a night.
How many yards did he have in the first half?
That was 55 right there. Good pressure up in the middle, but Beasley just avoids it. And Abbott got so far on top, Beasley chucked it as far as he could, and Abbott sneaks into the end zone. I don't know if sneak is the right word, but got into the end zone for a touchdown.
Got in between the safeties. O'Shea on for the extra point. Ball's down, kick is up, and the kick is good. 10:50 to go in the third. West Bloomfield increases their lead to 35-7.
Abbott 7 receptions, 264 yards, and 4 touchdowns tonight.
He will sleep well tonight.
Yeah, good pressure right up the middle by Sebastian Marcoux. And Abbott you're right, just got on top of Tyler Vestrand. No, I'm sorry, not Tyler. Parker Edmonds and
Marcus Brown.
Yeah, and
so Dragons will look to make something happen. Van Heck and Matt Freeman drop back deep. Dragons go on the road next week to play Troy Athens. O'Shea puts a foot into it. Line drive kick, out of bounds. So that'll come out to the 35-yard line, where Lake Orion will take over 1st and 10.
talk about effort. Let's see if that effort can sustain itself, even though the score is what it is. The officials call a timeout. Even though the score is what it is, again, like we said, we thought the effort was much better the first half than it was possibly, certainly last week. Let's see how the morale is on the team for the second half.
Two wideouts. Dylan Frank takes the ball over the 40, over the 45 to about the 48-yard line. Good hard run by Dylan Frank.
Keep working, and again, I live by a motto: find a way, and it just you got to find the positives in what you're doing. You got to find the opportunities to always tweak your technique, or tweak your footwork, tweak your understanding, tweak your competition, tweak whatever, and the Dragons will do that.
Toss back to Tyler Vestrand. He splits the backs. Gets up over, they're going to mark him down at the 50. Gain of now into the 49-yard line of West Bloomfield. Gain of 3. Good to see Tyler, after his previous carry, come back, get a good solid catch, get some good positive yardage. Kobe Manzo is in the up back position. Back's in the offset eye. Taylor Vestrand up the middle. He's down to the 47-yard line of West Bloomfield.
I'll tell you what, Vestrand really hits that hole hard. He's getting that ball and boom, he's exploding out of there. And it's really good to see, again, putting Lake Orion in better situations than we talked earlier about the second and longs, the third and longs. This is a third manageable situation right now for the Dragons.
Casey Stryonek checks in for the Dragons. He's splitting a slot right. Little mix-up on the handoff. And Lauer's dumped at the 50 for a loss of 2.
It was one of those zone reads, and Lauer saw if he would have given it, Frank would have run right into the Lakers defense, and he decided to keep it, and he ran into the Lakers defense.
So 4th and 6 for the Dragons. Dragons made a mass of substitutions. And we have a stoppage in play. West Bloomfield's going to call timeout. Again, this presentation is brought to you by the Lake Orion High School video program in partnership with Orion Neighborhood Television. Live streams of games will be available all season long at www.nfhsnetwork.com. 50% of all proceeds go back into the award-winning video program here at Lake Orion High School. Orion Neighborhood Television thanks our student crews for their hard work and dedication to bring Dragon sports to the world. We will be back for our next home game September 22nd. We will welcome in Southfield A&T into Dragon Stadium. And then we'll be on the road at Oxford for the annual Double O Clash. Lauer rolling, got some running room. Breaks a tackle, he's got some green grass to the 20, the 10, cuts it inside, touchdown, Lake Orion Dragons. 48 yards by Blaze Lauer. And we have 2 West Bloomfield players down. And another one, Desmond Simpson, is limping.
Lauer does it.
2 players are down.
Nice block by Frank downfield, and the 2 guys, as they're trying to converge on Lauer, end up running into each other.
One was number 14, McCanno Hayes, and I didn't see who the other one is. It was a defensive lineman.
Heck of a play by Blaze Lauer.
Outstanding play.
Great fake by Dylan Frank. You see on the replay there. And then we talked earlier about getting Blaze on the perimeter and what he can do, and you showed certainly right there with that big long run that he can do some things.
Richard Sanders almost caught him, but then he picked up a quick block and made it in the last 5 yards. Other injured players, number 61, Jamar Ross, and they can ill afford to lose him. He's a 6'2", 300-pound lineman. 6'3", 300 pounds. Outstanding run by Blaze Lauer.
Yeah, quarterback, you, especially in a play like that, 4th and 6, you know you got to at least get the first down. Blaze saw all this green grass in front of him, and you know, green grass going. You saw the lineman pulling downfield and making blocks downfield. You saw Dylan Frank making a big block downfield as well, just bring Blaze into the end zone. Great cut back inside the 10-yard line. So guys were working downfield. We talked about effort. You saw a ton of effort there on that play by the Dragons.
Well, one thing I'm sure that the coaching staff instills in this group is there is a thing called Dragon Pride. And you carry that with you everywhere you go, on the football field, in the classroom, in the community. Parker Blust on for the extra point. Ball's down, kick is up. And the kick is good. 8:15 left in the third. Dragons narrow the lead to 35-14. Okay, for the rest of the season, we will be at Oxford on October 6th. We will cover the homecoming parade on the 15th. And our homecoming this year will be late. It'll be week 9. It'll be the crossover game, which will be at Lake Orion this year against the White Division.
The whole White Division?
Well, the one in a equivalent spot in their division as we are in ours.
I know.
Last year, I believe we ended up playing Adams, didn't we? Who did we play like?
Was that 2 years ago?
2 years ago was Adams.
After a while, it just, to me, it becomes a blur. Maybe it's the old age too. I don't know.
After now going on 30 years with the Lake Orion football program, you're right. These games all blend into one.
So you got a few games under your belt, is what you're saying?
Couple. Parker Blust will kick off. The whistle blows. The squib kick. The ball's live. And the Dragons recover. It did not go out of bounds.
West Bloomfield, last week when Bloomfield Hills was making their comeback, they struggled the first onside kick, and Bloomfield Hills recovered it. Same thing this week. Onside kick, Lake Orion gets it back, shorter field. It bounces off the the first guy in line, number 87, Christian Fitzpatrick, bounces off his knee, and that ball's spinning. Who gets on it? Number 10, Drew Van Heck got on it. Great play. Lake Orion's got to take advantage of that.
Ball's right on the 50. Nose of the ball is on the 50. 1st and 10. Twin receivers, I formation in the backfield. Handoff to the up back. Number 47, Trevor Burke on the carry. Gets about 1. He'll check out, and Kobe Manzo comes in. Receivers left and right, Burke and Van Heck. Dylan Frank up the middle.
Oh.
And he took number 31, Limani Laster, for a ride to his back.
That's a big-time football collision there. You see number 31 right there sitting in the right middle linebacker position. Boom.
Boom, on his back.
It's all said and done. Just got about a yard or two on the play.
So 3rd down and 7. Ball's on the West Bloomfield. Let's call it the 46.5. Van Heck and Burke split out. Dylan Frank up the middle. Close to a first down. He's going to be about a yard short. Ooh. And we have a late flag come in, thrown by the back judge. Looks like it may have been on Limani Laster.
He was the one who made that tackle on Dylan Frank that we talked about the play before.
Personal foul against West Bloomfield. So although they kept him a yard short from the first down, the penalty yardage moves it down to the 30 to the 26-yard line. So the Dragons come out 1st and 10 from the West Bloomfield 26. Manzo in motion. Dylan Frank up the middle for about 3. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7.
Here you see the replay. Very late. They got, didn't look like much, but it was certainly after the play, after the whistle had blown, and they didn't look like much, but they got Laster for shoving Manzo in the back.
So 2nd down and 7 from the West Bloomfield 23. Lauer rolls out, looks, he's going to run it. He's got a 1st down, and he's out of bounds. Good scramble by Blaze Lauer.
Talked about it. Number 2's got some speed. Does a nice job play action fake. It looked like Flo was coming this way. And I like the way when he's on the perimeter, he's pointing downfield. He's telling his guys downfield to stay on that block. I'm tucking it and running it. I know where the sticks are. I'm going to get the 1st down for my football team.
However, as a runner, he's got to tuck that ball into his outside arm. He had that tucked inside all the time he was on that run. So 1st and 10 for the Dragons. Manzo now on a wing right. Dylan. Nope. That was Tyler Vestrand, and he just wove his way in for a touchdown. 50-yard drive in 6 plays, and we're getting a ball game back.
I tell you what, I've said it a couple times tonight, and certainly I like this play because of what it resulted in, but I love the way Tyler Vestrand is running the football tonight. He's getting that football, and he's hitting a hole, and he's seeing green grass and going. And does a nice open field cut. And really, I don't even know if he was touched.
Well, number 21, Chase Swoop, better go back out because a piece of his athletic clothing is on about the 10-yard line. Parker Bluss kicks the extra point home, 5:37. Dragons close it to 35-21.
We talked about effort, and does it surprise you that I mean, just keep grinding, keep finding ways to get the job done, and that's why you play a full 4 quarters. That's why you find ways to get back in this game, and slowly but surely. And if you're on the other side, if you're wearing the white jerseys over there, you got it in the back of your mind. You got to be thinking about what happened to us last week when we played Bloomfield Hills. Again, up 24-7 with 6.5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter, and they end up losing the football game. They got to be thinking that.
Yep. Now West Bloomfield is putting everybody up. Now's the time where you do a low kick down the middle of the field, because once it leaves his foot, it's a live ball, and you'll have a scramble down about the 15-20 yard line. West Bloomfield expecting the onside kick again. Referee blows the whistle. And it's a little pooch kick. Ball's on the ground. 2 West Bloomfield players, and the Dragons come up with it, but they're going to call it West Bloomfield's ball. I want to see the replay to see if one of the receivers called for a fair catch.
We got coaches on the field everywhere on their side of the field.
And there's a flag been thrown. I think Coach Blackstock just got a flag thrown against him.
Van Heck's working like heck to get that ball out of that scrum there.
The question was, and I did not see the replay, did they call for a fair catch? Because you can do that.
They did not, but they muffed the ball, and so the ball ended up on the ground. And it looked like the West Bloomfield returner was clearly down, being touched.
So we have a dead ball, unsportsmanlike, against Lake Orion. That'll move the ball up to the West Bloomfield 44-yard line. Dragons 3-man rush. Little receiver screen again to number 30, who we still do not have on our West Bloomfield roster. And trying to listen to PA announcer Roger Smith, I don't think he has it either. So it's a gain of 6. It brings up 2nd and 4 from midfield.
West Bloomfield goes to that empty set. 5 wide receivers. Lake Orion's been going to their dime package. 6 defensive backs in the game, rushing 3. Trying to make Beasley.
4 wideouts. Handoff inside to number 6, Colin Hurd. He stopped for no gain. Maybe the length of a football brings up 3rd down and 4.
This is a must for the Dragons if they want to have any shot at this. Get a 3 and out and get that ball back. A ton of momentum on the green and white side, the green jersey side right now.
Chris Cade directing traffic from his cornerback position. Beasley looks, throws, got a 1st down. And carried out of bounds is Taj Mustafa.
You know, the threat of them running deep on the Lake Orion defenders is opening up that simple little hitch route. And you know, the Lake Orion defensive backs are sitting so high.
Mustafa just went past the sticks and stopped and waited for the ball. Run up the middle, still looking for a stop. Number 6, Colin Hurd on the carry. Got it inside the 40. Another West Bloomfield player slow getting up.
Tell you what, it's getting awful physical out there.
It is. It'll bring up 2nd and 7. Number 16, Lydell Shepard, comes into a slot left. Mustafa split wide left. Completed to number 7, Trevon Mosley, who's been a favorite target of Beasley here in the 2nd half.
That's a long throw. You're throwing from the opposite hash mark all the way across the field. Run that little curl route at about 12 to 15 yards. That's a long throw for a quarterback and a good throw.
Trips to the right, single wide out, Mustafa to the left. Looks, throws, got it complete to number 6, Colin Hurd. He's down inside the 5. It'll be 1st and goal for West Bloomfield from about the 2.
So the bubble screen to Hurd. and catches the ball behind the line of scrimmage. Good blocking downfield. Nice spin.
Lakers going hurry up. 1st and goal. Inside handoff. Cut up the middle. Did not get the touchdown. Number 6, Colin Hurd again on the carry. 7th play of the drive.
So flag thrown from the back judge. Back of the end zone.
Let's see what the another substitution penalty. Did they have 12 men? So that'll move it half the distance. 1st and goal from the 1. Beasley back in the pistol. Inside handoff, in for the touchdown is number 6, Colin Hurd, who was the workhorse of this drive. 56 yards in 8 plays for the touchdown.
Number 52, Sokolowski, had a shot right there. Right there, just penetrated a little bit too deep. Had a chance to make a tackle in about the 3 or 4 yard line. Penetrated just a touch too deep. It was about a half man outside. Hurd got inside for the touchdown.
So Nick O'Shea is on for the point after. Looks like he's trying to get another person on. Ball's down, and it's blocked. And a flag and another flag.
Blocked by Jordan Lewis. Get that big paw up there.
Jordan Lewis, who is 6'1", or 6'2", 305, got in there and got his hand on it. And they may be calling him on encroaching because he's a little distraught. We'll check the flags. That Coach Blackstock's out to look at the flags. Illegal procedure against West Bloomfield, and it's declined. So the extra point is no good. 3:22 left in the 3rd quarter. West Bloomfield 41, Lake Orion 21. Go mobile with ONTV anytime. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube on your mobile devices. Connect with ONTV to see what's happening in our studio, see upcoming events, and watch ONTV programs in high definition on demand. Orion Neighborhood Television, working to bring Lake Orion to the world.
That Lake Orion offense is going to have to go mobile, and meaning moving that ball down the field and sustaining a couple drives like they did the last 2 drives. So a lot of things in this second half. I know the Lakers scored that particular drive. A lot of things in the second half have been working to the Dragons' favor. And again, it's just a matter of building on those things and starting to believe, you know. This is the most points that Lake Orion scored in the game so far this year. Yeah. And again, things to build on, and we still got a lot of football left.
Yep.
A lot of football left.
We've still got a quarter and 3 minutes left. Now, what do we have here? Let's throw it down to Kevin McCormick. Oh, I don't know if he's ready yet. Nope. He's going to throw it down to Kevin, and Kevin said not yet. Okay, let's throw it down to sideline reporter Kevin McCormick.
Yeah, guys, one of the things about football this time of year is that some players are being looked at by certain schools through the recruiting process. I happened to talk to a recruiter tonight that is from a place called Mount Union in Ohio, looking at a couple players on our team like Jordan Lewis and Sam Kinney. So it's interesting to see how these guys' good play is being seen by people outside of our area. So hopefully it'll turn into opportunities for them somewhere down the road. But that's what good play will do for you.
Well, even though West Bloomfield had a penalty called against them, they lined up for the extra point. The penalty was declined, and West Bloomfield lined up for the extra point and made it. So now with 3:22 left to play in the third, it's 42-21. And Coach Blackstock needs some information. He's out on the 25-yard line on the hash, talking with the umpire and the back judge.
And a 3 in OAA red action. Clarkston 13, Bloomfield Hills 13.
Game of the week. So the Dragons line up to receive the kickoff. Van Heck and Freeman are back deep. Kobe Manzo is one of the upbacks, along with Isaac Kinney. Nick O'Shea has the ball teed up on the 40. Line drive kick, taken on a hop by Van Heck. He's got a block, he's over to 30, weaving inside to the 37-yard line. Good return by Drew Van Heck. And another West Bloomfield player, number 44, Cornell Wheeler, comes up a little gimpy, one of their linebackers. So here come the Dragons, 3:13 left in the third. Van Heck splits wide left. Pierce Burke on the right. Ball's on the ground. Lauer picks it up. Got a little gain.
Awful. Awful. They awfully quick whistle. The play hadn't been blown. Play wasn't even over. And a whistle was blown very, very early.
If they had the injury down here, number 50, Blaine Barnes, is down about the 36-yard line. And if he went down while the play was in motion, they probably blew it dead right there because of the injury.
We also got a Lake Orion player down right about the 48, 49-yard line. Is that Lauer? Can't quite tell.
He took quite a shot as he came in. Yeah, it's Blaze Lauer. While the staff attends to him, we will tell you that DVD copies can be purchased by calling ONTV at 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060. For only $10, you can get a copy of not only this game, but any game or program in our broadcast vault. DVD copies, 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060. Trainers out for both teams looking at players. We saw Kevin McCormick Jr. last week in the closing moments against Rochester Adams. Now, Blaze is going to have to come out for one play. I don't see anyone on the sideline warming up. Yeah, number 50, Blake Barnes, is up. He's wobbling around a little bit. Blaze is up. He takes a drink of water, but they're going to have to get him out for at least one play. Coach Blackstock's out on the field. Chelsea and the medical staff are still out on the field. So it's 2nd down and 3 from the 44-yard line.
Sam Kinney at quarterback for the Dragons.
Sam Kinney is going to take the snap. Manzo gets the carry. He's got a 1st down and more. Takes a tackler with him. And he's down to the 48-yard line of West Bloomfield. He's got a 1st down.
Took a tackler with him. His helmet came off. He's got to come off the field, but playing physical, Dragons. We're getting some push again.
Yeah, Kobe will have to come out for one play. Tyler Vestren checks in at the up back. Dylan Frank.
There goes Tyler.
Tyler Vestrand again on, Chris, as you called it, the quick hitter up the middle.
Again, certainly a lot of football left, but what I'm seeing so far, I mean, you got a Dylan Frank and you got a Tyler Vestrand now that are running the ball hard. So now you've got multiple weapons that we can start developing and defenses got to be aware of.
And by the time the linebacker had a shot, he was past him. Dylan Frank up the middle. Stopped at the 25-yard line. It'll be 2nd down.
Sustained drives, but then convert. Sustained drives, but then convert. Keep that West Bloomfield offense off the field.
6th play of the drive. Blaze Lauer is back in. Dylan Frank comes out for a break. Vestrand and Manzo in the backfield. Tyler Vestrand up the middle, inside the 25 to the 24. Let's take it down to Kevin on the sideline. Kev?
Yeah, hey, guys upstairs, injury update, guys. Blaze Lauer, you see him back in the game. Everybody thought it might be serious, but it's really just a cramp. So you can see him back out on the field, moving a little bit more gingerly, but I think he'll work it out. He'll get back up to full speed. Back up to you.
Up. 3rd and 6 for the Dragons. Ball's on the 24.
Go, baby, go.
Blaze rolling, looking, throwing. Got a receiver inside to the 10.
Yes, sir.
They're going to mark him out at the 12, but it'll be a 1st down for the Dragons.
Nice little roll again by Lauer. And sees Manzo in the flat. Nice easy pitch and catch. Manzo securing that ball well. It's a big 1st down.
1st and 10 for the Dragons. I formation in the backfield. Dylan Frank goes nowhere. Maybe loses a yard. It'll bring up 2nd down.
44 brought down 44. Cornell Wheeler came from his linebacker spot to trip up Frank.
You know, Connor Wheeler is the only 40 number that West Bloomfield has on their roster.
Did you know?
Did you know? So brings up 2nd and 11, the closing seconds of the third quarter. They should get this play off. 2 receivers to the left. Lauer rolling, looking, got a receiver, got Manzo at the 10. It'll be 3rd down and about 7. And that'll be the last play of the third quarter. We've finished 3. It's West Bloomfield 42, Lake Orion 41, Lake Orion 21. Let's try that.
I'll take 41.
I'd take 41 too. You're watching exclusive coverage of Lake Orion Dragon football here on Orion Neighborhood Television.
The United States Air Force has a proud history of leading our nation in embracing diversity. We've been reaching new heights for years by understanding it's our individual experiences which make us strong. You can share in this success by seeking opportunities to learn and grow as a member of a diverse team. We are the world's greatest Air Force, not because of what we do, but who we are. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
We're back for the start of the fourth. We'll remind you the third quarter was underwritten by Classic Lanes, your home for family fun and entertainment in Rochester Hills. Their 32-lane facility offers state-of-the-art bowling equipment for both league and recreational bowlers. Check them out at myclassiclanes.com. And again, so the Dragons line up with a 3rd and 8 from the 10. Tyler Vestrand, ball's on the ground. Dylan Frank picks it up. He's got no place to go. He's going around the right side and made it back to the line of scrimmage. The ball was on the ground. Dylan alertly picked it up, had no place to go forward, cut it back to the right.
Yeah, pitched it to Dylan and hit him on his back hip. Couldn't quite secure it. And Frank was just trying to get what he could get.
And he had a crowd following him.
Lake Orion's got to call a timeout. Coach Fisher and Blaze Lauer were talking quite a bit about that last play, and as a result, the clock was ticking away, and they had to use a timeout so they didn't get to delay a game. Definitely a 4-down territory here.
And again, the scoreboard for the second half of this game is brought to you by Lakes Community Credit Union. The not-for-profit institution has been providing financial services to the Oakland County area since 1937. Give them a call at 248-814-4003.
You know, coming up this October, ONTV is holding the annual film festival. The kickoff event is Friday, October 13th. Oh no. After the films have been judged, they will premiere at Oxford 7 Movie Theater. For more information about ONTV's Film Fest, call us at 248-693-3377 or 248-693-1060. See, Friday the 13th, I thought about that and I couldn't get the words out, and bad luck. I don't know if you believe in that, but
everybody thinks it's easy doing this.
All you got to do is be able to read, right?
So the Dragons have a 4th and 8 coming up. The backs are still in. The receivers are still in. The quarterback is still in.
Now we got to get the ball in to the end zone.
What do you call here?
Touchdown.
Okay.
Or a first down. We'll take a first down. A touchdown would be better.
they can get a first down without getting a touchdown. Lauer back to throw. Goes to the corner of the end zone, and it's way out of bounds. So it's turned over on downs after a 10-play drive. West Bloomfield will take over on its own 10-yard line.
Couldn't quite tell if that was simply a one receiver route or not. The ball was thrown press coverage here. No, it was not. Inside slant tried to open up the corner route by Van Heck. Van Heck ran that route a little flatter than Lauer thought he was going to run,
yeah, and
Van Heck never had a chance to catch it.
Well, he threw it along. He threw it 5 yards out of the end zone. So 1st and 10 for West Bloomfield on the 10. Twin receivers to the right, single wide out to the left. Single back in the backfield. Beasley throws this side for Mustafa. And incomplete. He had to go up and get it. And he had number 3, Marcus Brown, draped all over him.
Marcus has been in good coverage in a number of plays tonight. Again, in that particular instance, Mustafa actually pulled down Brown's hand as he was trying to go up for it, but does a nice job of walling off the wide receiver towards the line, towards the sideline, excuse me, and making it a tougher ball to complete.
Beasley gets it out on the bubble screen to Colin Hurd. And I noticed when they come out in that 3-receiver set that the Dragons, they're leaving somebody uncovered out there. They had 3 receivers and only 2 defenders over to cover.
They've liked that bubble screen quite a bit, and I can see why.
And once Hurd broke a couple tackles, he was on his way downfield. So 1st and 10 from the 36. Bessie throws complete to Trevon Mosley. That's another first down, and West Bloomfield's going hurry up.
How many different guys can they throw to? Inside release by Mosley that time, and
Beasley put that ball where only his receiver could get it. Great touch. So now we have trips to the left, single wide out to the right. Beasley on the screen again, and that one's incomplete. Through the hands of A.J. Abbott.
Yeah, that was a situation it looked like where Abbott was trying to make something before he had the ball. And, we talk about that all the time. He's trying to turn up field and not secure the ball. Got to do it the other way. You got to secure the ball first and then turn up field.
Catch, then look. So again, trips to the right. Number 30, who we still haven't identified all night long, is out in that triangle to the left. Stacked receiver look here to the right. Beasley in the empty backfield. High snap. Looks, throws down the middle. Got a receiver. Got number 7, Trevon Mosley. That's another first down for West Bloomfield. 10 minutes left in the ball game.
If it's not one person, it's another. I mean,
pick your poison. Which one do you want to throw to? 3 receiver look. Number 6, Colin Hurd on the run. He's got another first down, or close to it. They're going to mark him about a yard short. Sixth play of the drive for West Bloomfield.
You know, Lake Orion had that one interception earlier in the first half by Kinney, but have not been able to stop this West Bloomfield offense since then.
Stacked look on both sides. Inside handoff. Taken down by Colin Hurd. That's a first down on about the 14-yard line. Scoreboard's calling it the 13, so will we. Single wide out left. A double wing look off the ends. Beasley on the carry, down to the 10.
Again, he doesn't run the ball much, Beasley, but when he does, he's a tough, athletic, physical quarterback to be able to bring down.
And we have a stop. The clock is stopped. We have a penalty. I did not see a flag thrown. Referee Dennis Waddell's having a conference with the line judge. Must have been Lake Orion called timeout because they're showing them with 2 timeouts left. Just under 9 minutes left to play in the game. Referee Dennis Waddell's calling everybody back out to the field.
Clarkston 2020, Bloomfield Hills.
Still tied.
And 9 minutes left to go. Adams beat Oxford 33-13.
So Adams is still undefeated. It'll come down to Adams playing Clarkston.
Heck, or maybe Bloomfield Hills.
So 2nd down and 7, they're calling it. Beasley got motion, looks, throws to the end zone.
Intercepted.
Intercepted in the end.
Oh, no.
Oh, they called it touchdown.
It sure looked like
Taj Mustafa went up and took it away.
Wow.
I want to see the replay on that.
Marcus Brown, it looked like he came down with it, or so I thought from here. Nice touch by Beasley to the corner of the end zone. Well, back judge is right in the way of our line of sight on the replay. Let's see if we can see it from this angle. That's not Marcus Brown, excuse me. Oh.
Number
Deion
9,
Boyce.
Deion Boyce, and he had the ball, and Mustafa just took it away from him for the touchdown. So Shea on again for the extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 8:35 to go. It's now 49-21.
Game of inches, huh?
Boy, no kidding. Be sure to tune into replays of your favorite games right here on Orion Neighborhood Television. Tune in Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 7 p.m. and Saturdays at 1 p.m. for the most current games in our lineup. Games are also replayed throughout the week, so check our program guide on our webpage at oriontv.org for replay times that best fit your viewing schedule. Also visit our YouTube link for games on demand at www.oriontv.org.
Clarkston 27, Bloomfield Hills 20.
So West Bloomfield getting ready again to kick off. Van Heck and Matt Freeman back deep for the Dragons. Manzo and Isaac Kinney are the upbacks. We mentioned earlier, Dragons go on the road next week to play at Troy Athens. Taken on the 1 by Van Heck. He's up over the 15. Got a seam to the 20, looking for a block over the 30 to the 35 to the 36. Good return by Drew Van Heck. Took the ball on the 1 and brought it out. So the Dragons are 1st and 10 from their own 35, they're calling it. Blaislauer at quarterback, Dylan Frank, the tailback, Trevor Burke, the upback. Dylan Frank up the middle, over the 40 to the 42. Set this Lake Orion offensive line. They've done an excellent job. Hunter Chambers, number 66, Ben Gardner's been outstanding tonight. Connor Wise, Matt Mercer is the center. They've done an excellent job against a very athletic defense. Dylan Frank again, he gets jammed up after about a yard gain. So it's going to be 3rd and 2.
What makes it difficult for Lake Orion in the situation they're in, you know, and the ability to put the ball in the air and find big chunk plays through the air. Just haven't found that mix as of yet. You know, primarily Lake Orion is this year to date has been a run first team, obviously, and so we're still seeing that tonight with you know, Manzo and Frank and Vestran. The ability to put the ball in the air and find that 1 or 2 guys that can catch the ball and do something with an open field is got to be the next phase in the development of the offense.
Tyler Vestran gets the first down. Up to the 46.5. Dragons have it 1st and 10, just under 7 minutes left to go in the game. Backs now in an offset eye. Toss back to Frank. Looking for an opening, cuts it outside. He's got some room. Gets away, he's free. Down to the 10, to the 5.
He's in.
What do they call? Touchdown,
yes.
Lake Orion Dragon. What a run by Dylan Frank.
It's coming back. There's a flag on the far side of the field about the 37-yard line. Dylan's cramped up, maybe?
Yeah, Dylan's cramped. They're carrying him off the field.
Heck of a run, regardless.
Outstanding run. It's not that warm of a night out, but we've said it before, and we said it when we were both on staff. If you've got game night, you better be hydrating yourself 4 days in advance.
Recommend before practice, before a game, at least 16 to 24 ounces of fluids. Drink as much as you can during practice or the game. Certainly hydrate yourself after the game is a big part of an athlete's involvement. Eating right, obviously, is a big part of performing well. A lot of people think it's just going out there and practicing 2.5 hours a day or 2 hours a day. There's a lot more to being a great football player, a good football player. It's the film work, it's the film study, it's the the off-season training. It's eating right. It's getting enough rest.
So it's 1st down and 3 for the Dragons. Vestrand, he's got a 1st down if where the head linesman is at. And they're looking, yeah, they're calling it 1st down. They're moving the chains. Yeah, they're still trying to get Dylan Frank stretched out a little bit down there. And if you have cramps, the last thing you want somebody to do is grabbing your leg and trying to stretch it out.
You need to replenish the fluids.
Tyler Vestrand up the middle. It's got 5 down to the 38.5 yard line. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Lake Orion offense is, again, we keep talking, the score is what it is, but the offense is finding some consistency and finding some things that they're having success with, and that's certainly an encouraging sign moving forward.
Lauer rolling, got pressure, and down he goes at midfield. Number 11, Desmond Simpson, came in from his linebacker position, and nobody touched him.
Not much you can do. Not much you can do. Blaze could do on that one. He rolls out, and you're right. Desmond Simpson does a nice job of staying home and not letting Lauer get outside of him.
So 3rd down and 16 from the West Bloomfield 49. Lauer back to throw, got pressure, and down he goes at the 45. Just too much pressure.
Yeah, too much pressure, and if you had the opportunity to look downfield, there was nobody open either. So, and that's those two things go hand in hand defensively. And once all said and done, Blaze could only do what he could do.
So there's a blood moon tonight. And Lake Orion's going to take a timeout. It is 4th and 21, 4:05 left to go in the game. Larry Buss and the crew at Jets Pizza, located at 1091 South Lapeer Road, have been a proud supporter of Orion Neighborhood Television and Dragon Athletics since 2009. We'd like to thank Jets Pizza for the blood moon out there tonight also. Jets supplies catering for cast and crew. Thank you, Larry, for your continued support. Give them a call at 248-814-7559.
Jets does it all, huh?
About another month, that's going to be called a harvest moon.
Yeah, it is. It is September, what, 8th?
September 8th. Usually on September 8th, we have been up here and we've been sweating. It's a cool one tonight.
Last week too.
Yeah. So 4th down, or for the Dragons, and they're going to go for it on a 4th and 21. Good pickup, and Blaze goes down at the 40.
Same thing there. That was, you look downfield, that was simply a coverage sack, they call it. Simply, Blaze had nobody to throw to downfield. Good coverage. Ultimately, the guys up front defensively get the sack, but it's because of the pressure and the coverage downfield, that resulted in that quarterback sack.
So West Bloomfield takes over 1st and 10 on the Lake Orion 40 with 3:58 left to play.
sophomore quarterback Anthony Rompf in for the Lakers to finish out the game tonight.
Takes off up the middle, gets maybe a yard. Anthony Rompf is a 5'10", 170-pound sophomore, so he's the future of this team.
Got some pretty big shoes to fill.
Number 87, Christian Fitzpatrick, 6'3", 180, splits out wide this side. Handoff. Number 20, Jason Harris on the sweep left.
Really
no
good
gain.
Yeah, really good drag and pursuit right there. Harris was simply not running that way north. He was running laterally across the field. You don't want to do that if you're running back.
Dragons making some wholesale changes on their defense. We're trying to see who should be in, who should be not in. And we just heard the West Bloomfield spotters next door yelling timeout, timeout. And Coach Bellamy does take a timeout. With 3:22 left, each team has one timeout left.
That's a challenge when you get into a situation like this. You know, you want to get guys in, get them some playing time. They've worked their tails off all week long, but sometimes it's the flow of the game and the substitution patterns that force you to call timeouts because it's not necessarily something you always practice. You want to be able to get yourselves into situations like that, but it's not something that is focused on all that much in practice. You only get a limited amount of time in practice.
Most of the time your twos are running scout team defense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So 3rd down and 11 for West Bloomfield. Anthony Rompf, the sophomore, still is at quarterback. Fades, looks, throws, and knocked away by, I can't see the number. There we go.
Neil Nunn.
Neil Nunn, number 30. It's somebody else in there, and I want to say it's number 16, Russ Hastings, from his safety spot. So 4th down and 11. Motion this side. Rumpf's going to throw. Knocked down at the line. So the Dragons will take over on downs. Jordan Lewis still not taking a play off.
Matt Mercier knocked that ball down.
So Dragons take over.
Right from his defensive tackle spot. Boom, get those hands
got
up. Great job. If you can't make the tackle, if you can't make the sack, get those hands up.
Yep.
Did just that, well done.
Kevin McCormick Jr., a name well known to ONTV watchers, is in at quarterback. And the ball's on the ground and he falls on it.
Some struggles with that last week, you know, a couple securing that football, and you know, it's.
Well, it's the same thing. You don't get a lot of repetition in practice if you're the 3rd string quarterback.
You're right.
And if he ran scout team this week, he was trying to assimilate Bryce Beasley.
Tough thing to do.
Yeah, it would be very tough. Number 47, Trevor Burke on the carry. brings up 3rd down and 6 from the Dragon 45. Just over 2 minutes left in the game. Back stay in an I formation. McCormick on the handoff to
Jack DeBrincat.
Jack DeBrincat on a carry. It's great to see some of these, if you want to call them scout team players, nice to see them get some game action. It's going to do nothing but help them in the future. So ball's turned over on downs. I'm sorry, Parker Blust is in to punt.
Parker had a good game tonight.
He did have a good game.
Punting the ball well.
And his pregame was, I watched him during pregame. He had a great pregame today. Good snap. Nice kick. West Bloomfield, and it just hits and dies on the 9-yard line. That's like sticking a pitching wedge from 80 yards out.
He hasn't punted in a while, so he's probably nice and cool out there. Well done in the elements.
So 56.6 seconds left. As we mentioned, Dragons go on the road to Troy Athens next week. And they'll be back in late September to play Southfield here at Dragon Stadium.
That, by the way, isn't. No, I take that back. That's not an early game. My fault. Nope. That's when we play them on the road.
Handoff. And number 12, Anthony Rumpf, gets a first down out over the 35-yard line to the 37. Short snap taken by the up back, and that's going nowhere. Have time for one more play. And they don't even have to snap the ball if they don't want to. But they will. Hand off to number 33, Shamar Dennis, and that's going to do it. The final seconds tick away. The final score tonight, West Bloomfield Lakers 49, the Lake Orion Dragons 21. You're watching exclusive coverage of Lake Orion Dragon football here on Orion Neighborhood Television. We'll be right back.
Today, a new creature walks among us, terrorizing innocent citizens. Until this threat can be contained, we must all be on the lookout for the dreaded digital deadwalkers.
Dude!
They're not looking out for you.
Engage!
A public service safety message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons, who want to keep everyone well connected with strong, healthy bones.
Down on the field after the West Bloomfield Lakers have beaten the Lake Orion Dragons 49-21. Chris, we were talking just after halftime that it was a tough stretch of games to start the season. It's the way the schedule turned out. We're in the OAA Red. You got to play them.
Right.
But to have Chippewa Valley as your non-conference week 1, then come back against a good Rochester Adams team, and tonight against a buzzsaw from West Bloomfield, it's tough to get your footing established.
Tough to get your footing established when, again, 3 programs that have been traditionally very, very good. And we saw a terrific football team tonight. Certainly the best 0-2 football team in the entire state of Michigan. Because they played 2 good football teams. You saw the talent tonight. You saw how they can match up, how they can spread the field both horizontally and vertically, the athletes they have, and that's tough for anybody. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Lake Orion. I don't care if you're Bloomfield Hills like last week or the week 1 that they played Walled Lake Western. It's a tough matchup for anybody. So on the flip side, Lake Orion, while the score might not necessarily indicate it, we mentioned it in the 3rd and 4th quarter. There was a gutsy 3rd quarter. They came out and put 2 touchdowns on the board, and we're doing some things well, and they're starting to establish some offensive rhythm, if you will. And you saw some guys that didn't get a lot of touches. Tyler Vestran, one of them, really run the ball well tonight. So you can find some other guys offensively that can help them move the ball, score points. There's some things to build on. Blaze Lauer did a nice job of managing the game in his very first start as a varsity player. And, you see the quickness, you see the speed, you see some of the decision-making out of him. And, that's something to be able to build on.
Defensively, I think they took them stride for stride, but the talent they have, not to say that the Dragons do not have talent, but they have Division I talent all across the board, but still the defense played them very tough. There was a lot of hitting going on out there.
A lot of hitting and very physical. And what do we talk about coming out at halftime? We talked about effort, and would Lake Orion give great effort? And they certainly did. They didn't give up. It was 49-21, and you saw them working and trying to find ways to get better, and you got to commend them for that.
Waiting to get Coach Blackstock over here. It's always kind of a hard thing to do when you've just come out from a loss and you have to come and talk to us, or you come and talk to us. But next week, Troy Athens, you want to say it's going to be a reprieve. Troy Athens is not going to be a West Bloomfield or a Rochester Adams. And the Dragons should be able to right the ship a little bit next week.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of distractions down at Athens. They've got their homecoming. The school has got a week and a half into school starting, and once all's said and done, but it's tough to go on the road. And Athens the last couple of years has played Lake Orion very well. And so you just, again, it's OAA Red. You just never know which team's going to show up and which program's going to come out on top.
Well, I think the best thing to do at this time is we'll just close this broadcast out. The final score again, the West Bloomfield Lakers beat the Lake Orion Dragons 49-21. Dragons go on the road next week. Our next broadcast will be here on the 22nd of September against Southfield A&T. For our producer, director, John Atwater, our entire Orion Neighborhood Television crew, our broadcast partner, Chris Pritching, I'm Doug Corliss. Thank you for watching. Good night, everyone.